one of the really cool things about comics that have science fiction in them, it really gives the artist and the writer freedom to create this entire world.
Yep.
You know, they have complete control over the flora, the fauna, the culture. The very weather is theirs to command, which is pretty cool. And I mean, especially with creator-owned titles, you've got the opportunity to see some really interesting setups.
You certainly do, and it is the case with Storm Dogs, the new series coming out from Image. Writer David Hine has given us a fascinating new universe and a really interesting premise to go along with it. Think of it as CSI meets Star Trek. There's been a murder on a mining planet called Amaranth, and a crack team of investigators have been sent there to check it out.
Yeah, now, the planet Amaranth, I really like it because it's almost a character in the story in and of itself, and not a friendly one.
No, in the first, one of the first pages of the comic, you learn about the beauty and the diversity of this planet, and pretty much straight afterwards you find out that it's a really hostile planet as well.
Yeah, a planet where the rain melts people.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, that would make me steer clear.
You know, with the universe and the planet with the diverse beauty and the indigenous life forms, overridden by the value of its resources, I don't know, it kind of puts me in mind of a film, maybe Avatar?
Dude, you promised me you would not mention that awful film
I
ever
know.
again.
I really only do it to see your reaction to it, because it's just brilliant. Anyway,
Move on.
maybe we'll move on to the characters, shall we?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I will admit there are a lot of stock characters in this graphic.
Yeah.
You've got, your no-nonsense commander, you've got your slightly awkward kind of medic, even an uncooperative deputy sheriff. Now, that said, I do feel like all these characters fit in really, really well, and that they've got a lot of room to grow and develop over the series.
Yeah, I did feel a little bit like Hine may have jumped the gun slightly on terms of handing us backstory. I mean, right near the start, we see these CSI guys talking to their friends and family and loved ones through something called the Weave.
Yep.
Right there at the start. And honestly, I kind of felt like we should have gotten to know these guys through their actions before we saw any backstory.
Well, I know what you're saying, but I also think it was really important to establish what the Weave was.
Okay.
It's kind of this psychic connection that everybody on the developed planets have. It's like, I don't know, a psychic Skype. You could probably check Facebook and Twitter as well. Look, that would be awesome.
I'm hoping there's more to it than that.
I'm sure there is.
But that's the thing, though. We don't know.
No.
And I do like that about how this has been written. Very little is handed to you.
Yeah.
I mean, they mention the Weave, they show you a little of what it can do, and then they say, okay, you'll be cut off from this while we're on the planet.
You can't use it.
It's a level 4 planet. We can't use tech above level 6.
Whatever that
They don't
means.
explain what that means either.
No.
I value information so much more when it's drip-fed to me.
Okay, so we've established that the story works well. Yes?
Yeah,
okay,
but
now
I'm-
let's talk about the art. Yes.
Okay.
Come on now.
Yes.
Doug Braithwaite has such a deft touch with the framing and the composition of this book. I think it really deserves a mention. He's created such a beautiful world to go with the story.
Yeah.
And the close-ups on character faces, they're so beautifully done that you can really feel these complex emotions coming through.
Look, I know what you mean. It's odd, but the one that really actually got to me is there's this one extreme close-up on the eye of one of Amaranth's sort of green oxen-like beasts of burden.
Yep.
When it's standing there in the rain and it's coming down, it looks like it's crying. I don't know why that got me, but it really did. There's something very emotive about that. But aside from the emotional stuff, the action scenes really worked well as well.
This is a book that doesn't kind of shy away from the grotesque.
Not in the least.
I mean, we
Yeah.
do see these kind of raptor,
that kinda-
dinosaur-y kind of creatures attacking the miners,
Yeah.
and it's quite vicious. You can feel the impact of those hits, you can see the ripping, and you also get to see what Amaranth's rain can do to people, and it's, I don't know, kind of like a melted candle kind of comes to mind.
It's not pretty.
It's really not.
No, but it is effective.
It is really effective and quite arresting as well when you see it.
Yeah, it is. Look, all in all, I think this has a lot of distance to grow and develop. I mean, this is issue 1 of 6 issues in the first season.
Yeah.
As it's being described. So I think this could do really well. I mean, as long as the characters continue to develop, I think we don't know much about them yet, so they really do need to develop.
Yeah.
But as long as they do, along with the environment, this could be really awesome. It's definitely a buy.
Yeah, I gotta say I agree with you. I do like how you kind of get introduced to all these story elements that just touch on without being overburdened by too many facts. You're basically learning about Amaranth alongside of the CSI investigators, these intergalactic investigators, which I think is really cool. You're learning with them.
Yes.
It's brilliant. It's definitely a buy from me as well. It's one to keep your eye on.
Check it out.